Let's go ahead and bring up our next comedian, Mikey G.
Yeah!
Sloopy's, how you doing tonight?
Yeah!
Yeah, fuck you too. I actually hate that question. You're probably sick of hearing it by about the 15th time you hear it. 10th, 11th person up here, everyone's asking you how you're doing tonight. But it seems like when you get a microphone in your hand or whatever, you're in front of a group of people, I understand they make you say things, ask people, engage them so that they feel like they're committed to what you're doing and that they're a part of actually what you're doing up there. And that much I get, because you want people to feel engaged and to feel like they're embarking on a little comedy trip with you as you go out into the world. And I appreciate that. But the thing that I don't like about that particular question is, quite honestly, I don't like the way you answer it. And it's nothing about me. It's all about you in this instance. And just think about it. When somebody asks you how you're doing tonight, the typical response to that question is what?
Yeah!
Applause. Maybe a little bit of a woo action going on in the back if there's been a few drinks. But when you think about it, the problem I have with that is not the way you respond to that question at any other point in your life. No other point in your life do you actually respond to that question in that way. It's not appropriate. Just think of an example in your life. Some of you have probably experienced this, maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But you go off to work and you come home one day and your wife is there slaving away in front of the oven, in front of the stove. She dances when you're not there, guys, just so you know. You walk in. Hey, honey, how was your day? First thing you would do is look for the return tags to send them back to Russia. And then probably try to do something about the crazy linebacker eyes, which I included in there unnecessarily, and I'm not sure. Sorry, there's a lot of microphone movement that goes on with this. Transitions are awkward, but how many of you guys have heard about Thor becoming a woman?
I heard.
You hear about that? That was like a big news over the summer. And women's groups all got together and they were touting. They were, sounding the trumpets. Thor's a woman. Thor's a woman. They like they won a battle. They were planting their flag in that one. And when it came down to it, Whoopi Goldberg's on TV masturbating in front of people on The View, and you can't tell because her face looks like a vagina. But she was actually doing it, whether you believe it or not. Anyway, the ladies had it. Yes, you won, ladies. You won the Thor battle. But I just have to stop and think for 1 second. What did you win? Because in the end, that decision was made usually probably by a group of men in a room who were trying to figure out a way to make 13-year-old boys masturbate just a little bit more. Because, quite honestly, when I think of a realistic body image for women, I think of comic books. Legs up to here, tits so big, even Barbie's going, those are fake. And when you've got Barbie against you, ladies, you've got an issue. Anyway, when it comes down to it, though, the worst part about that is that, again, the women acted like that this was some sort of battle they won, some sort of debate that went on, that there was a room full of people where they were going back and forth, and the women were saying, we want Superman to be a woman, and the men were going, we'll give you Aquaman, and they settled on Thor, and that's the way everything happened. And that's kind of bullshit, because that's not what happened. Like I said, that decision was made by 5 or 6 guys in a room, and it probably went a little something like this. Well, what comic book's not selling? Thor's not selling. What can we do to make Thor sell? Which, by the way, when you scratch right here, that is the universal symbol for man. Only because I can't have my hand on my nuts when I say this. In public, at least. At home, the routine's a little different. do. And now they've already tried killing him, they've already tried bringing him back, and that didn't do anything for sales. So there's a guy in the back, and he's sitting there, and he's thinking real hard because he's had a few beers at lunch, because everyone has a few beers at lunch in corporate America, especially the artists. And he just blurts out the first thing that comes into his mind, and he goes, "Why don't you give him some tits?" To which point, the man sitting next to him, Zuckerberg the idea. If you're not familiar with what that term is, it's when you get somebody else's idea and you throw glitter on it and then you shove it in everybody else's face and claim it as your own. So he Zuckerberg's the idea and says, "Fuck it, fuck the tits, why not just make him a woman?" And that's how equality is born. Thanks, guys.
Yeah!
All right, let's hear it for Mikey G.